let's take this as a lesson, and let's really dive deep into it because I believe that some minds will be blown. Okay, so this price point is interesting. Remember that we had the sell off on Friday at this price point right here, and this is what ran us out. And when it ran us out, what did it do? Captured highs. Okay, so we have located an interesting price point. Okay, so we've located an interesting price point. So let's remember that here. Okay. On smaller time frames, on the 15-minute, we have same thing. Okay, so our nice little institutional candle there. Okay, so we have balance that's open. Okay, institutional candle down here. Okay, and this is what's offered on the 15-minute. Come. Big time frames. Okay, the same thing that we just pointed out on the 15-minute with both candle and imbalance, we just pointed out on the weekly. Okay, so market's fractal, right? It's the same thing that we're looking for on the weekly, the same thing we're looking for on the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute, 3-minute. It's all the same, but higher time frames trump lower time frames. Okay, so we want this to all line up together. And beautiful Pepe play with that extension down. Okay, but like I said, this is going to be all small time frames. Okay, so what do we know? This area right here on the weekly is right here. So what we know is that we had a strong rejection off of the weekly time frames right in here. Okay, so this is our really important point of interest. So we've located two spots, okay, that are really important. This one and this one, in my opinion, right? Originally, we were talking about on Friday. Was it Friday? Or was it Friday, right? No, yesterday. Yesterday, to sell off in these three indices: NAS, US 30, S&P. Okay, only one had it. Okay, so this sell was already given. Okay, and you can see the same thing. Okay, you can see how it almost hit the same thing. I believe it missed it by a few points. Yep. Okay, so that's where we're at. All right, we're locating our points of interest, okay, because price should bounce back and forth in these potential areas. Okay, no. Where were we at New York Open? Okay, so we're in here. Okay, and so this is where we're at now on the 5-minute. Okay, we have our focus point. Okay, we have our imbalance right here on the 5-minute, but let's scroll in further. What's the 3-minute look like? Okay, same thing, that strong down candle, same thing, the imbalance. What does the 1-minute look like? Okay, the 1-minute, okay, for everyone that was trading with us live on one of the bounce back sessions, this area right here looks identical to another sell that we had by Mike Navarrete, right? And look, if I can, I wonder if I can find it. I might not be able to. I'll have to go back and look. We have the before and afters. You can find them on social media anywhere. We've been posting about them, but this price action looks very similar, right? You've got your accumulation. Okay, so we have our base that's created, right? We have that pocket of money. Okay, the pocket of money gets ran out. Okay, you can see how that that pocket of money gets ran out. Okay, and launches. So inside this candle, okay, remember this is a 5-minute down candle that captured this pocket of money and then left. Okay, and we had imbalances, right? We had that imbalance that was right here. But on the 1 minute, we can see the imbalance inside here. Okay, and then it's the same thing. Okay, this is the candle that disrupts all this liquidity. Purchasing goes in it. Proof of purchasing because we see the imbalance. Proof of more purchasing because we see the imbalance. Price goes higher. Okay, and so you can see how price bounces. Okay, but this price point right here, the stop if you were going to use on the 5-minute is too wide, right? You would have to be down here. Okay, if you were going to attempt in here, you can place the stop in here, but that's not what I want to focus on. It's the next one. Okay, this next area right here where you can actually crunch the R&R down. Okay, right? So just a 6-to-1 potential. Now, what I want to show you next is the sell, right? So depending on how price, okay, reacts in here, will make up if we're going to go higher and continue going higher, right? Because remember, we have our potential, okay? It doesn't mean we're going to get here, but we have our potential higher time frame interest point. Okay? So either remember we have all of this open down here, so either we can potentially run up from here and reach to this area, or we can continue going down and reach to this area, whether it's down here or down somewhere in this area. Okay, but all we have are our two main focus points. Okay, now watch. Okay, New York Open. Okay, what happens during New York Open? We had our candle that we were just talking about. Okay, inside that 1 minute imbalance, you can see in the 2 minute, it's taken out liquidity and then engulfed. Okay, we have a nice rejection off that area. Okay, but now we're coming back and retesting New York Open. Okay, so here's the price action that New York Open gave us. Let's inspect it. So why did price reach up, run this high, and run that high? And then reverse. Perfect area to distribute a large order. So there were your two plays, a buy or a sell. You can hedge one or the other, right? This sell was given live on Mike's channel. Okay, we left about here, and then Mike's channel was live, and then the sell was called. Okay, and it's the same thing. You've got your imbalance, of course, inside this area. You can see how imbalance was dipped into slightly, and then we had our reaction. Okay, two ways this could have been played. Okay, you had your reaction. So whether you sell right here, okay, well, this is a wide stop. Okay, whether you place, remember our rules, stop loss above the wick or stop loss above the body, those are both still wide stops, okay? But we see a reaction first. That's the reaction, okay? Where can we enter? The same way that we do on smaller time frames or larger time frames, we do the same thing on smaller time frames. You see the reaction, you can attempt here. Helping with the R&R. There's multiple ways you can enter justifying your risk to reward. You just got to calculate it in before you make the trade. What are you going to risk? That should be your stop loss size, okay? So now we have our buy potential that we were looking for. Obviously, it didn't work. Okay, so now where price is going to run for liquidity. Okay, where's liquidity? Well, here's a spot. Here's a spot. We have imbalance. There's also imbalance down here. Okay, it's just being aware of everything. Okay, price sells off. Okay, now watch. Price comes into here. Okay, your focus point. Now, how do we know if it's going to react in that area? Because the same thing when we are up here, okay, this is a wide stop. This is an even wider stop. Okay, so whether you put the stop loss below the low, stop below this body, it's still a wide stop. So how do we know if we're going to actually get a reaction off this? Okay, let's go into the 5 minute. Okay, it's a lot harder to see the reaction. So let's actually go into a 1 minute. Okay, price is extending down. This right here is that open of the 15 minute. Okay, this is where it starts. Watch. What do we look for? Accumulation. We look for signs that this is actually being bought up. Okay, so we get a stab at the open of the candle. We see reaction. There's buying going on. We go underneath it. Price stalls. What does it do? Creates liquidity. Okay, price goes lower. Then all of a sudden we see a nice buy come in. The same buy back in here. Okay, we see some buying action. We see some buying action. Okay, price comes back down and then reverses. Right here, okay, you have the liquidity burst through it. But watch. You see how price makes this imbalance when seeking above this liquidity right here? Okay, this means orders were thin on the sell side right in here, which means what? We want to watch price return back to that area. Okay, if you need me to do the replay mode, at this point, honestly, as soon as price closed above this area, we have our break of structure. Okay, right here confirms that this reaction off the 15 minute, okay, is valid. Okay, so what do? We pay attention. Right in this area. Look, the body of that candle pushed down, buys coming in. Okay, all the buying happened right in here. Okay, the aftermath was the imbalance created, and so price should let us in somewhere in this area. Okay, as we play into it. What's another rule? Well, 50% of our focus point, right? Showing the average orders, okay? The halfway point, the average orders coming into here. Okay, and there you have it, right? So whether the same rules, okay, whether your stop is below that candle, just with this move, you have almost 4-1, okay? If you were able to snag it at the halfway point, your R&R becomes even better, okay? Now, it's being walked up, right? It's being constantly walked up, okay? It's just fascinating. Look at the reaction. Same thing, okay? It's the same thing. Walking price up. It's also having reactions off the same thing looking down. Okay? The one thing to understand with all of this is the areas you want to focus at. Did liquidity get ran through? Did liquidity get captured at some point? Every single spot that I've showed you, there's been liquidity that has been captured one way or the other. Okay? Liquidity. Liquidity. Okay? But it's been powerful. Like, and this is the same thing. We do the same thing every morning live, whether it's on the bounce back channel, whether Mike Nav has it on his channel, it's going to be on some channel. And it's just the same thing, rinse, repeat over and over again. Okay. But look, at the end of everything, these were the trades. Okay. Break even or TP, however anyone played it. I personally broke even on this one and didn't sell. Here's the sell. Okay, where's it go? Into the 15-minute. Okay, 7-1. Here's the buy. Okay, currently 9-1. Potential 12-1. Okay, not saying any partials are being taken or anything. It's just this is the flow of the market. You literally saw price just bounce from one area to the other. Right, and all it is just where where orders are stuck. Okay, and we're just playing ping pong. It's bouncing from one into the other while running liquidity out. Right, filling back in balance both ways. Here's imbalance. Here's imbalance. Okay, and you know, really sit on this. You know, maybe it's not clicking today, but you know, we say it over and over again. The markets are fractal, and all that means is the same stuff we are looking on higher time frames is the same exact stuff we are looking at lower time frames. But the higher time frames trump the lower time frames, and then when you can stack it all together, this is how you get a R&R that will allow you to lose multiple times and it won't phase you. And that's what's important about trading. It's not all about being right, it's about being profitable. Okay. So exactly what's being said in the chart, US 30 is really changing lives. I'm speechless, and it's a blessing to be able to do it with you live every day, in front of you, whether it's done in front of you live feeding trades, or whether we talk about it uh, later on, right? We're learning from it all together. And, it was a blessing to see all of this, experience it all with, a group of people that, I'm blessed to be acquainted with. But this has been amazing. But yeah, this is about to turn into, hold on, we're going to calculate this. It's like 1,000 points down. Yeah, almost 1,000 points down. 1,200 points up. Man. Today's been a good day, but I hope that y'all had some breakthroughs through that. This is a daily thing. This is done so much. It's literally rinse and repeat, right? Because this is how the orders are coming in and out of the markets, and you can't hide Bigfoot's footprint. Let's call it that. But thank y'all. Hopefully y'all had some breakthroughs.